is really not adding up for me. Like, you really that mad because you got caught slipping? Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, if you didn't know, and today's video is another true crime episode. So if you're ready, let's go. So I did my nails again, and I'm gonna show y'all an inspiration picture as soon as they focus. Come on. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all an inspiration picture, but it's not giving what it was supposed to give. So first of all, the color that was in between, I don't know if y'all saw that, like there's supposed to be a color in between. Y'all see, like right here up top, it's supposed to be a color there, not the nude. It was supposed to be orange, but it's very much given peach, and the design is given mushroom head from Super Mario Brothers. I mean, they look decent, but it's just not, it just don't look like what I thought it was gonna look like. But nonetheless, we're gonna rock with them till they stop rocking with me, and when they fall off, that'll be the end of it. But you know, we practice, we live, and we learn, and then we get loves, right? But anyways, yeah, and I know I look childish right now because I got these baby barrettes in my hair, but this is supposed to be beads. I couldn't find them. Don't worry about it. If I look childish, oh well. It is what it is. We have to make do with what we got. And this is what I had. So, yeah. But anyways, y'all. So, today probably going to be a short video because it's not a lot of information out there about the victim or the perpetrator in this case. But I felt like this was a case that I wanted to talk about because I don't want to say something cool happened, because that's not the word I'm looking for. That's definitely not what I'm looking for. But innocent bystanders did something that I thought if more people did, then cases would potentially get solved quicker than what they be getting solved. So with all that being said, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into today's case. And today we're gonna be in West Allis, Wisconsin, which is a small suburb about 10 to 20 minutes southwest of Milwaukee. And today's case revolves around a young lady named Ninoshka Lozada. And according to her family and friends, Ninoshka was in a relationship with a young man named Wilson Medina Cruz, who they knew as Manuel. And the two had been in a relationship for about 2 to 3 years. And together they shared 3 children. However, Ninoshka was a mother of 4. And based off of a couple articles that I read, there had been some domestic violence within the relationship. And unfortunately, whatever was going on between Wilson and Ninoshka would reach its boiling point on July 18th of 2022 when the police would be called to a West Allis neighborhood that was located on 72nd and Greenfield. And they was called out there for reports of screams and shots fired. So on their way there, they didn't really know what they should be looking for. I mean, you know, shots fired don't necessarily mean people injured. And it was around 12:30 p.m. when they got this call. And once they got there, they went to the address that it was reported at, and they ended up finding a young lady in the backyard of her home with a gunshot wound to her chest. And at this point, she was still alive, and so the paramedics provided life-saving measures. However, the young lady would not survive this gunshot wound to the chest. She ended up being pronounced dead on the scene, and she was later identified as Ninoshka. She was just 24 years old. So police obviously have to canvass the area to see if anybody knows anything. And in doing so, they come across these 2 construction workers who said that they actually did in fact see something. They said that after they heard the screams and the shots, they saw a man running from an alley. And one of the construction workers had the presence of mind to actually take out his phone and take photos of the person who was running from the alley, because obviously it was suspicious. So he turns over the pictures that he took to the police, and the police go around with this picture trying to see if anybody can identify him. And eventually the person in the picture is identified as 25-year-old Wilson Medina, or Manuel Cruz as they knew him. And so now the search was on, because this person was clearly seen running from the direction of where the shots were fired. So obviously the police want to track him down now. And according to a witness, they saw the man who was running from the alley get into a gold Cadillac about a block or so away from the scene. So the police track down the car and its owner, and they go talk to him. And the owner of the car said that his friend had called him to pick him up. So he went to go pick up his friend. His friend hopped in the car. He dropped his friend off at 15th and Beecher and then took his hindside home. But that was all he had to do with the incident. He don't know nothing else. He dropped his friend off. That was it. He couldn't tell them where his friend went after that, what he was doing after that, or what he did before that. All he knows is that he picked his friend up, dropped him off, and then he went home. So they continued questioning people who was close to Ninoshka and Wilson, and they came across a young lady who said that she also had a kid with Wilson. And this young lady said that she and Ninoshka had problems from a while ago, all the way up until the day that the incident happened. She actually told the detectives that her and Ninoshka was pregnant at the same time, and that the two of them will often argue over Facebook about Wilson, and that the two of them had actually been arguing the day of the incident. Now, personally, if you ask me, this is just my opinion, I think they both just should have jumped him. Like, they don't need to be fighting with each other. They need to be beating his ass. So she said that her and Ninoshka was arguing over Facebook that day, and that she ended up getting a call from Wilson, and Wilson told her that he had shot Ninoshka, but he didn't know whether she was alive or not. And so with this information, if Wilson wasn't the number one suspect before, he damn sure was the number one suspect now. So they needed to find him ASAP. But that wasn't going to be too hard to do, because the very next day they ended up getting the tip, and they ended up finding him at the Embassy Hotel in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, which Oak Creek and West Allis, they ain't nothing but a hop, jump, and a skip away from each other. So he didn't go too far. But they ended up catching him at the hotel in Oak Creek and arresting him. And once they arrested him, they obviously questioned him about what happened to Ninoshka. And he initially denied everything. He said he didn't know what was going on. He was lost. I don't know if I said it already, but they ended up finding him the next day on July 19th. But anyway, so like I said, he initially denied everything. But once they presented him with the evidence they had, especially the pictures of him running from the alley, he knew the jig was up, and he ended up confessing to the whole thing. And according to Wilson's story, he said that him and Ninoshka was arguing about another female, go figure, and she started wilding out on him, and she just started swinging on him, like pretty much just attacking him. And in an effort to defend himself, he said he just started shooting like crazy. And when the police asked him where the gun was, he said that he had gotten rid of it somewhere in Burlington, Wisconsin. And then shortly after getting rid of the gun, he said that he purchased a ticket to go to Puerto Rico, because he was about to peace out on their asses. He was about to go to Puerto Rico, live his life, and attempt not to be caught. However, he was caught the next day, and now he's sitting here looking stupid in the face. Needless to say, they arrested him, and they ended up charging him with first-degree intentional homicide and use of a deadly weapon. And it would only take another year before things kind of wrapped up in this case. And usually that's not common. Usually it takes years for things to be wrapped up in murder cases. However, just a year later, which would be this year, 2023, when Wilson had his plea hearing, he ended up pleading guilty to first-degree reckless homicide instead of intentional homicide, which basically, one is you went in with the purpose to kill, and then the other one is you was just being crazy and reckless. You probably didn't mean to kill him, but you was just doing stupid shit, and then you killed him. And so that's what he ended up pleading guilty to, was reckless homicide. And just a month after his plea hearing, which was in June of this year, so just actually a couple days ago, I think it was on July 6th, he was sentenced to 24 years in prison with 15 years of extended supervision, which, again, don't know what that is. I don't know if he's going to get out and then be on probation, parole, or what. And at his sentencing, he tried to say sorry, but wasn't nobody really trying to hear that bullshit. And Ninoshka's mom, Carmen, she spoke at the sentencing as well. And she pretty much said that he took away something that can never be replaced. Now there are 4 babies out here who no longer have their mom, and 3 of which no longer have their dad as well. And so, your sorry ain't worth shit, pretty much, is what she said. Now, my thing is, how is you that mad that you pick up a gun to shoot the mother of your children is really not adding up for me. Like, you really that mad because you got caught slipping? That's just crazy to me. And then, I didn't tell y'all in the video, but it said that at least 2 of her kids was there when this happened. Like, witnessed it. Now, they were all pretty young. All 4 of her kids ranged from 5 to 3 months. So they're all still pretty young. I guess the good part is that they're so young that they could potentially not remember this traumatic event. But then again, at the same time, they're so young when their mom passed away that they more than likely won't have personal memories of her outside of what, you know, they family tell them about her. They're not gonna have too many memories of her. Maybe the 5-year-old might have like a little bit of a memory of her, but outside of that, the other kids are way too young to even know what's going on. But back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video, the fact that the construction worker actually thought to take a picture of the perpetrator or of the person who they thought could potentially be a suspect in what they thought might be a shooting, because they didn't know. All they heard was screams and gunshots. They didn't know if somebody had got hurt or not. They just took the pictures and was like, hey, maybe this can help. And I know it's so easy to just mind your business, but sometimes that one thing, like that one, like I seen something, I heard something. I mean, it might not save nobody's life, but it could potentially get families justice way faster if we didn't adopt this snitches get stitches mentality. Now, granted, some things I feel like you need to stay out of because you could end up hurt as well. But if it's not gonna cause you no harm, then say something. Do something. Snap a little picky pick, you know? Anyways, y'all, that is all I have for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. To go down right now. Would you focus, please, bitch? I don't know, east, west, south, or north. I don't think it's east of Milwaukee, because east side of Milwaukee. And according to her family and friends, Ninoshka was in a relationship with a young man named Wilson. What's his name? With a young man named Wilson Madonna. She was just 24. And so this construction worker.